What up, YouTube? After the corruption that has been exposed in Minnesota, we of course have tons of memes coming through. So I just wanted to highlight a couple of those and talk about some other things that are going on. So this one right here is really just the main crux of the issue, that Tim Walz is basically selling out the American people, as we can see up here, taking their money and then giving it to the pirates over here who come in and run false businesses and profit off the American people while putting in minimal to no effort in doing so when they operate fake businesses. So that's just the first one. I thought that gave me a good chuckle. Let's see here. We got something. And then I saw this video. Someone did a parody.
Well, I'm the only Somali who speaks English, so they always call me to come talk to you white people and to tell you, please stop investigating us and let us do fraud in peace. Somalis are peaceful fraud community. We want to steal taxpayer money in peace without FBI jailing our ass.
Exactly.
We even hired this liberal crazy white bitch to come act like she supports us. Look at her. Look at that Karen face.
Oh,
and the
gosh.
eyes. It's always the eyes. Anyway, please stop investigating us and let us steal your taxpayer money in peace. Hey guys.
It's Somali P. Diddy right there. Okay, let's see. These ones I thought were pretty good too. So got this. Oh, how could it be that we have 26 more million votes cast than what could possibly be there? That's not important. You're racist. Yeah, exactly. And then this one just made me chuckle as well. So just a recap of the Somali situation, and then there's a couple other things going on. One of the big ones right now is Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro being captured. So here we just have this, this is the way it always goes. Expect them to defend him and the corruption and terrible things he's been doing. Democrats stand with dictators. It's just people in the memes. It never gets old. And then this is another one. Yeah, of course, all the communists and basically our enemies are going to be, they love Venezuela for the oil rights that they get to take and consume, because Maduro allows it, because he's one of them. And then this just kind of shows what the people of Venezuela feel about it, how they feel about his capture.
Bienvenido a Venezuela. Bienvenido a casa.
Look how happy they are. Oh, we got this right here. A couple good ones here. I mean, this one's just hilarious. Yeah. I don't know how people come up with this shit. I really don't. It's hilarious though.
Por su milagro, a los que no dejan de creer que Dios es grande. Gael por fin va a conocer Maracaibo después de tantos años.
Clear tears of joy right there. They're extremely happy about the situation, which don't blame them. I would be happy too if my area finally got liberated from a socialist dictator wants to destroy the people from the inside out. I'd also be pretty happy. And then we got a couple other things here.
Right now, it is 2:35 a.m. and Pete Kegsbreath, fucking cosplay G.I. Joe, is literally bombing
Look how mad she is.
Venezuela.
And then the Venezuelan guy is extremely happy. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe because what I just said. And then this, of course, these people are just fools. On the left, just fools. Like you don't know how to see clearly or interpret things. It's just literally legacy media feeds you lies. And oh yeah, the appeal to emotions and emotional manipulation. That's all it is. And what she's doing now.
Stop them when they were bombing boats in the ocean.
Because that was stopping the drugs from coming into the country. Ugh. It's just like, I don't understand where the argument is. Like, when they were bombing boats, well, you forgot the word drug in there. Drug boats, illegal drug boats coming into the country.
You didn't stop them when they fucking took a tanker off the coast of Venezuela like a bunch of fucking pirates. You guys didn't say shit when they bombed Nigeria less than 2 weeks ago. What the fuck are you guys doing? We are the terrorists. We are exporting.
Yeah, you might be, lady, because you're an idiot. But yeah, I think the rest of us can understand what's going on completely. Unlike you, apparently.
To the rest of the world. What the fuck is it going to take for
Look how happy.
to remove this dementia-ridden patient who needs to be in a fucking padded cell?
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. And then you got some more, wrong way. Got some more emotional stability here.
Fuck libs
The
on
libs,
TikTok.
yeah.
She can go fucking... No.
Oh, can't say that, can you? Oh, uh-oh.
I can't say that. But that motherfucker... Ooh.
Look, these people just crash out.
Gone, bro. Gone.
Oh.
Gone. Now.
That's all it is.
Now.
Look how mentally disturbed. You can see it in the eye. It's always in the eyes, dude. Always. How just mentally unstable and disturbed these people are. It's so crazy. You just see, like, that's what they look like. Just so disturbed.
I hate that motherfucker so much, bro.
Can't handle their emotions.
If I could do it personally, I would.
And then they
I
resort to
would,
this.
Bro. Fucking piece of garbage human being, bro. Libs of TikTok just needs to... Just 80 feet on the ground.
Oh. That's what they fucking do, bro.
Gotta go back to the French times, guys.
Yeah. So more mental instability, of course, you know, had to highlight that. And then, let's see. Yeah, this right here.
Look at that. Look at 2024.
That's by overdose.
Leading into 2025.
Just
Look
going
at
down.
these are all deaths from over.
So we can clearly see, boom, going up, 21, 22, up. Oh, it's kind of stabilizing, 23, 24, and then a big decrease right now. Takes a big drop, and the top line is all drugs, and then this is opioids, I think meth, and then cocaine down here. But they all start to decrease rapidly. From 2024 to 2025, and they are going to keep going down as well. And I wonder why, huh? Oh yeah, maybe those boats they just were talking about previously, maybe because those are getting hit that are bringing tons of drugs into the country and then getting loaded up with fentanyl. See, the thing is, people don't understand how this works. So drugs are generally they're generally produced in Colombia, at least cocaine. So it is produced there, right? And then it has to follow a path to get to the US. Well, guess where it stops? Venezuela. Oh my God, who could have imagined that? Yeah. And the boats stop there to get refueled, things like that. And then this is where Maduro should be like, hold up. No, we can't have this, and send them back, or, keep these people under wraps. But that's not what happens. And they actually protect, like, the drug traffickers. Doesn't make any sense. That's how Venezuela gets labeled a narco state, because they allow this to propagate and continue. So they are basically protecting the traffickers. They're not necessarily making a lot of it, which is another problem. Obviously, Colombia is doing that. But yeah, all these boats that were shown to be attacked are friggin' subs. And then we see the decrease in drug deaths. It's like, can you not put two and two together? Like, it's so simple. It makes so much sense. It's just like clear as day. I don't understand how people don't get that. It's just ridiculous. And then we got this one here.
Venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
Now if you don't know, now you know.
He asked for it, so can't be too mad, can you, buddy? Well, let's watch this here.
Operation overnight. You were former White House counsel, and as I suspected we were likely going to see this morning, Democrats are coming out and challenging the legality of this operation. We already have Congressman Jim McGovern saying that this was unjustified, that was carried out, and that it was not authority. He said, without authorization from Congress and with the vast majority of Americans opposed to military action, Trump just launched an unjustified illegal strike on Venezuela. I suspect we'll hear other Democrat voices challenging it as well. What do you make of it?
Well, good morning. And Jim McGovern's an old friend of mine. He's an old Massachusetts liberal, my age. He's been wrong for as long as I've been right. In fact, this is well within President Trump's Article 2 authority. It is a replay of the 1989 Operation Just Cause that George H.W. Bush launched to capture and spirit Noriega out of Panama.
Oh, remember him?
A narco cartel.
Yep.
And he ended up spending the rest of his days in jail. Here's the deal. The president can do this. It's very impressive. It certainly follows through, as Donald Trump does, on a threat, as he did with Iran last summer. He said,
exactly,
I'm going to act if you don't stop building nukes. He told Maduro, I'm going to come and get you if you don't stop tyrannizing your country. As Ms. Machado said on tape, Juan Guaido said 4 years ago, Maduro has been a ruthless tyrant dictator since he took over for Hugo Chavez, who was himself a dictator. This is great news for the 30 million people of Venezuela. I am mostly concerned for the 20,000 plus Americans who are in Venezuela right now.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's still a police state. There's still a Cuban security service-backed police operation there. And hopefully the people of Venezuela, who have risen up time and time again against the dictators Maduro and Chavez, rise up today in the streets like the people in Iran are doing. And bravo to President Trump. It's well within his presidential powers. So our friends on the left, who have been wrong about international operations since Reagan invaded Grenada, this is good news for everyone who loves freedom, and especially for the Venezuelan people.
We have got to the
and we already saw that, where they're all happy about it.
Working app without knowing how to code. This is
Obviously, President Trump is not looking at getting involved in some long, protracted military operation. His supporters are not interested in that. But as Griff points out, you already are going to start seeing Democrats, and there are others who are carping about this. How do you see the see the politics of this playing out domestically here in the United States?
Well, I would hope that every Republican, I know Mike Lee's got his question, but I read the tweets this morning of Deputy Secretary of State Chris Landau. We'll hear at the press conference that President Trump will hold a little bit later that he's very competent of his legal authorities. I'm sure he had the opinion of the White House counsel, the Department of Justice, the Office of Legal Counsel, saying it's well within your Article 2 authority. We have had that flotilla, this extraordinary armada in the Caribbean for weeks and months. And so if a few people try and score points off of Donald Trump for a successful extrication of a narco criminal,
bingo,
let them try and let the American people see that.
And believe me, they will try with the most emotionally disruptive and manipulative tactics that you can imagine. Just blatant things that don't make any sense. Like, oh, you can't do it. Well, yeah, he actually can, you know, can. I've already seen some of it. It's just ridiculous. Like, this guy was clearly bad, peddling drugs, supporting it, narco terrorist. I mean, clear as day. I don't see how anyone denies that. And then you'll have people that, you know, try to make arguments from a place of emotions and not understanding and saying, well, this bad thing happened over here. So it's just literal. It's nonsense. Like, this makes perfect sense right here. Of course. Guy's literally a narco terrorist, a dictator, wants to harm the American people and his own people. I mean, you saw his own people were even excited about it. I just don't get it, but it's just ridiculous to me. And I know people are going to be against it. Of course they are. All right, and then last thing, they just mentioned Iran. I got to see, let's see what's going on there.
To a near standstill, the whole country, due to a government order.
Look at them shaking that fence, dude. That's crazy.
Shutdown.
About to rip that fence out.
Across the country against their government. This is the biggest in 3 years. Our next guest says the Iran protests are about far more than just the cost of living, which, by the way, is skyrocketing. Let's bring in Jonathan Hironoff. He's Israel's international spokesperson.
Dude. You know, this guy reminds me of. Come on, I know you see it. Oh my gosh.
At the United Nations and author of Unveiled, Inside Iran's Women, Life, Freedom, Revolt. Jonathan, your thoughts about what might be different about day 6 now of this unrest in Iran, because we've seen this before.
We've absolutely seen this before, and great to be with you, Brian. I think it's important to note that the protests that are taking place currently in Iran are not just about the dwindling economy, not just about the currency plummeting. It's very much a culmination of 46 years of the Iranian people having been brutalized by their regime, and they're saying enough is enough.
Exactly.
We're seeing protests increase in terms of where it's spreading to more than a dozen of Iran's 31 provinces. And it's not just the shopkeepers and the bazaar owners and the merchants who are taking part. You've got Gen Zers, you've got young people, you've got old people, and everyone is collectively saying that they've had enough of this very brutal regime.
I mean, you talk about Iran, talk about inflation. You know, people complain about 2.7% inflation here.
Yeah.
In Iran, it's at 42.2%. $1 compared to 1.4 million rials. That's their.
That's insane. 40% inflate. Yeah, imagine that. People would be doing this here in America as well. Are you kidding me? 40%? That's ridiculous. Be like, oh yeah, you know, a gallon of gas used to cost you. It was costing $2.70, but over here, well, it's going to cost $8. It's just like, nah, I don't. Yeah, screw that. That's ridiculous. Way too much. I can understand these people's outrage. I mean, after the people are taken advantage of for so long, they start to do this. They revolt, and it's exactly what we're seeing here. It makes complete sense.
Currency. So people are saying we can't afford anything. There also is a water shortage. And how do they
in 1 year?
Billions of dollars, between $1 and $2 billion, being sent to Hezbollah since the war ended.
Oh, I'm sure they're happy about that.
Being sent to Hamas. Well, they're living in these conditions.
Of course.
What you're seeing is Iranian people very vocally linking Tehran's destructive foreign policy to their own economic misery. When they can't afford to provide food and water on the table for their families, at the same time they're seeing the regime pump billions of dollars into terrorist proxies abroad. That's going to irritate people, and that's why they're going into the streets.
Look, should we get involved in unrest inside countries? It's a dangerous, risky proposition. In 2009, not only did we not get involved, we didn't say a word when President Obama was president. He wanted to do that horrible Iranian deal that fell flat on its face and was being abused, and now it's been unwounded. But listen to what President Trump just put up on Truth Social a few hours ago, saying this: if Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to the rescue. We are locked and loaded, ready to go. Thank you for your attention on this matter. What does this do?
Peaceful protesters, United States will come to their rescue. I mean, it's a man of the people, basically. That's what I gotta say. Yeah, there's just certain things just can't be allowed, you know, like can't go kill a peaceful protester. I mean, we have this happen in our country all the time. How many crazy protests have you seen? People wearing just weird things on their heads and just acting up and what, and it's like, oh yeah, go ahead and do it, I guess. But you know, if you're being peaceful about it, and then when it turns violent, yeah, you got to step in. But yeah, Iran shooting these people, just, it's despicable, disgusting, shouldn't be allowed.
I think it puts the regime on watch, and even if they don't take that message seriously, I think it will also encourage international organizations like the UN, Western governments, and mainstream media to actually focus on what's going on in Iran, and that's been lacking up until this point.
I mean, you think about Iran, they've been kicked out of Syria, thankfully, right? Whatever you think of the regime, they're not welcome there. They have a foothold in Iraq. If there could be something done there to free Iraq to have their own elections without the stranglehold that Iran's militias have, this could be a ripple effect throughout the region.
This could have a transformative impact, not just in Iran, but in the entire region. When we're talking about things like Abraham Accords, imagine an Iran that is no longer governed by these brutal dictators and actually has a leadership that wants to pursue peace.
So what should be the next step?
Would be great.
The next step for the US, I think President Trump was characteristically brave and bold and direct in his message this morning. I think we should continue to focus on what's going on inside Iran.
But if they kill protesters, and they have. They killed the 37-year-old last night, and they've taken a couple of dozen women into prison, put them in the worst prison. So aren't they actually calling us out? Are we at risk for saying things and not backing it up?
Well, I think what should happen, if we're just looking at New York and the United States, I think the United Nations should step up, and the United States has definitely done a tremendous amount. Israel is very supportive of the people of Iran, and we should be using these diplomatic tools and other measures when they don't work. But we should first look at places like the United Nations that have been very silent about what's going on in Iran. The Secretary General hasn't said anything. There's been no urgent Security Council session convened on this serious matter. The only urgent Security Council session convened this past week was about Israel's recognition of Somaliland. That's all they seem to care about. If it doesn't concern Israel, the United Nations doesn't seem to be concerned.
And that's the risk. If we go in there, then we become the problem. The problem is the people are rising up against the government. The risk is if we're too aggressive, then they say the U.S. and Israel are behind this.
Of course,
and that becomes a distraction. Right?
Gets pointed at us.
I think ultimately what the Iranian people want is not necessarily boots on the ground, but they want an active disassociation of Western governments from the Islamic Republic, from aiding and abetting the Islamic Republic, using diplomatic tools to isolate the Islamic Republic, and supporting the people in their 46-year quest for freedom.
Right. They're an unpopular, horrible regime, and their days, I hope, are over. Thanks so much. Great to see you, John.
So lots of crazy things going on in the world right now, but, you know, here I am to cover it. Yeah. Venezuela hopefully gets to see an uptick in growth and their economy from the absolute horrors that the socialist dictator Maduro was implementing upon them. And we already know the Somali, I mean, that's just ridiculous. They're taking over. Minnesota already took over. Fraud, abuse. I could just go on about that forever. That just makes me so annoyed. But yeah, if you like these videos, make sure to leave a comment, subscribe, and leave a thumbs up if you like it. I try to respond to as many comments as I can. And yeah, peace.